things. Number one, what's Trump in trouble over when it comes to Epstein? He's in trouble because he is making it look like to the MAGA base, he's part of the elite cabal that covers for other members of the elite cabal. And they don't like that. They elected Trump because he promised not to be one of them, but to like bust up them, those groups.
It all started with a private meeting behind tightly sealed doors, a scene straight out of a political thriller. According to insiders close to the situation, 50 Cent met face-to-face with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago late last month. No public agenda, no press, just two power players in a secluded room with one alleged mission: make absolutely sure that Sean Diddy Combs stays locked up. And from the looks of how things are unfolding, the plan may have worked. Diddy, once the untouchable mogul of Bad Boy Records, now sits in a concrete cell at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, denied bond yet again, while 50 Cent posts laughing memes and luxury yacht selfies, like a man who just delivered the finishing move in a decades-long rivalry.
Trust nobody. In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
We're told this meeting wasn't casual. The atmosphere was cold, calculated. 50 came prepared. Word is, he handed Trump a blacklist of every insult, every jab, every quote Diddy ever lobbed his way over the years. This wasn't just a man airing grievances. This was a strategy, and it landed. Trump, a president notoriously allergic to criticism and infamous for playing personal vendettas like a symphony, reportedly had a visceral reaction. One source described the mood shift in the room as immediate. And let's be honest, this is a guy who said straight into a Newsmax camera, "It's more difficult to pardon Diddy because of those old comments. Comments like, white men like Trump need to be banished, and the #1 priority is to get Trump out of office." Whether or not Trump ever intended to help Combs, 50 may have made sure he never would. For Diddy, the timing couldn't have been worse. Just weeks earlier, there were whispers he had a shot, that Trump was seriously considering a pardon. The momentum was building. Some of his inner circle were quietly lobbying the White House. Publicly, Trump gave cagey responses like, "I'd certainly look at the facts, and whether they like me or not, he'd be willing to help." If he thought someone was mistreated, it looked for a moment like the mogul might pull a comeback and walk out of this mess. But that moment slammed shut because while Diddy's team was building a case, 50 Cent was waging psychological warfare, not just with Trump, but with the entire media ecosystem. Every meme, every joke, every sly, perfectly timed troll post. He wasn't just celebrating Diddy's fall. He was framing it as a justice and aligning himself with a man holding the pardon pen.
I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you,
sir. Yeah, and it's hard, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office, and he made some terrible statements.
And here's where it gets even more unhinged. According to 3 sources, 1, a former associate of Combs, 1, a political strategist who's worked with Trump campaigns, and 1 ex-music executive with ties to both camps, Diddy's team made a last-ditch offer that turned heads and raised alarms. The claim, they offered Trump access to confidential files, possibly linking him to Jeffrey Epstein. That's right, a Hail Mary from behind bars. The implication being, help me, and I help you. Disappear some names. We don't know if those files are real. We don't know if Trump ever looked at them. But we do know that shortly after this alleged offer was floated, Trump's tone changed from maybe to a hard, probably not. And he did it live on air. Diddy was very hostile when I ran for office. Trump, told Newsmax, made some terrible statements. Then came the quiet part out loud. We're human beings. We don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? Translation, you disrespected me. Now enjoy your bunk. There's one more angle here, and it's just as chilling. That same former associate claims 50's blacklist didn't just include Diddy's comments about Trump. It had dates, sources, even screenshots of past interviews and social media rants. If true, it's a level of preparation that borders on political opposition research. Which begs the question, was this always the plan? Did 50 Cent, the rapper turned mogul turned producer, plot to take his old enemy out of the game, not with a diss track, but with strategic manipulation at the highest level of power. He's already weaponized Diddy's trial into a Netflix docuseries. He's built a whole brand around trolling the man's downfall. And now, if the whispers are to be believed, he may have personally engineered the final nail in the coffin by steering the president's hand.
Once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Diddy, for his part, isn't just sitting back. Multiple reports say his team is preparing yet another appeal for bond, even floating the idea of a retrial based on alleged judicial bias. But none of it's landing. The judge shut down a $50 million bond offer like it was spare change. The prosecution isn't budging, and even his own legal team has gone radio silent when asked about clemency talks. This is a man surrounded by silence. Political, legal, personal. Once the king of New York, now ghosted by his former friends and ignored by the one person who could free him with a single signature. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's social feeds are a digital dance on Diddy's reputation. One day he's posting pie-generated images of himself hiding from itty-bitty Diddy with a gun. The next, he's taunting Puff's past quotes while posing courtside at a Knicks game. He's not even subtle. Donald doesn't take well to disrespect, he posted recently, and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. That wasn't advice. That was a victory lap. We can't ignore how far this feud has evolved. What began as subtle shade over record contracts and brands has morphed into a full-blown political chess match with national consequences. The two men who once shared a remix and an award stage are now playing with presidents, prosecutors, and potential plea deals. And we're watching in real time as one of them quite literally loses everything.
Documentary, I think a lot of people thought that he was just joking around. It turns out he's not. So this is actually a real project that's being made under his G-Unit move.
Because while Diddy's lawyers beg for leniency ahead of his October 3rd sentencing, facing up to 10 years behind bars with prosecutors pushing for the maximum, it's clear the court of public opinion has already shifted. The days of free Diddy are over. His name trends not with support, but with scandal. His former allies are staying eerily quiet, and the once untouchable titan of hip-hop is reduced to whispered stories about what might have been offered, who might have been threatened, and what dirt might still be buried. And yet, the one story everyone can't stop speculating about, the one moment that could change everything, is that silent, secretive meeting between 50 Cent and Donald Trump. No cameras, no press, no leaks, except for the few that now hint at a bombshell play that may have detonated Diddy's last hope. Some say the two men talked for less than 20 minutes. Others insist it lasted an hour. But what was said? Was it just about Diddy, or was it something deeper? A transactional power move, cloaked in loyalty and wrapped in vengeance.
Surprised by the evidence that's already coming out in the criminal trial?
No, I'm not surprised. I experienced some of those things. Witness violence.
What we do know is that since that meeting, Trump has made his position brutally clear. Diddy's past words were terrible. A pardon would be more difficult. And 50 Cent, he's been nothing but loyal, helpful, strategic, exactly the kind of ally this administration rewards, and exactly the kind of enemy you don't want to cross. As Diddy sits behind bars, betrayed by former friends and ignored by those he once called allies, 50 Cent celebrates his greatest victory yet. But what really went down in that mysterious meeting with Trump? And how far will 50 go to ensure Diddy never breathes free air again? The secrets revealed next will leave you speechless. And now, beneath the gloating and the memes, a far darker narrative is starting to emerge. One that could flip the script entirely. Because if even a fraction of the whispers circling Diddy's legal collapse are true, then 50 Cent didn't just celebrate his rival's downfall, he engineered it. 3 independent sources, all with deep ties to the music industry's legal corridors, claim 50 Cent may have done more than lobby Trump with an ego-baiting blacklist. They say he fed information directly or through intermediaries to federal authorities. Dates, names, locations, even surveillance footage leads. One former producer, who's worked with both men, said flatly, 50's been sitting on receipts for years. The feds didn't just find Diddy, they were handed a map. This isn't the first time 50 has been accused of running long-term plays with surgical patients. In 2024, he reportedly began funneling resources into a now-sold Netflix docuseries, chronicling the full scope of Diddy's controversies. From the free cough parties to the lawsuits, the settlements, the whisper deals. The series was marketed as journalism, But several segments were built on sealed depositions, anonymous interviews, and highly specific timelines that hadn't been made public. Insiders close to the production claimed key segments were suggestively edited to steer public opinion just as Diddy's trial began. The motive, viewers assumed it was entertainment. But industry insiders now wonder, was it a smoke act screen for something far more calculated?
No, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I
it
would
sounds
say
like.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Is 50 a genius or did he go too far? Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and don't blink because the next twist is already in motion.